So I believe the most underrated story that nobody in the NBA is currently talking about is Jamal Murray is currently eligible for a 4-year, $208 million extension, and we've heard nothing about it. Back in July, the Nuggets GM said when he gets back from the Olympics, I don't think it'll be much of a negotiation, I think it'll be easy. Now the Olympics just concluded for us, for Team USA, but for Canada it concluded a couple of weeks ago, right, at this point. Now I don't want to overreact too much, but I am making this video, so I guess I am kind of overreacting, but there's a world where they just watched how bad he was in the Olympics, they remembered his playoff run, and now we're having second guesses about extending him for 4 years. Now this is complete speculation, I'm not a reporter, I'm not a journalist, complete speculation, but wouldn't you think Jamal Murray would be the one that wants to sign it right now, considering his injury history? Now he stands to make more money if he waits a year, but again, Jamal Murray, someone that has had multiple serious injuries, I don't think he wants to wait a year. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know Jamal Murray, but it just seems like he would want that secure $208 million right now. And really, for the first time ever, it occurred to me that what if Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray are not going to be teammates forever? Now, I know that's obvious. The NBA, most teammates do not stay together, but that tandem, that pick and roll has maybe been the best play in the NBA over the last 4 years. And I know it's hard to separate Jamal Murray from the Nikola Jokic context, and that's a positive and a negative for Jamal Murray, right? Because some people look at it and say, he's so great with Jokic, you gotta pay him. Some people say, how great is he without Jokic? So it's a negative, it's a pro and a con for Jamal Murray. But if you were running the Denver Nuggets and you had the best player in the world in Nikola Jokic, I know how great they are together, but would you maybe not believe that it's time to get Nikola Jokic like a real number 2? And I say that knowing Jamal Murray has been a real number 2. If you look at Jamal Murray's playoff numbers, they're comparable to Steph, they're comparable to Damian Lillard, like he's been that good, but at the same time, he's not an all-star, he's not an all-NBA player, he's not a top 20 player in the NBA. And once again, I know it's hard to separate Jamal Murray from the context of Nikola Jokic, but they might feel like we might be handicapping ourselves from getting a real top 10 player next to Jokic, top 15 player next to Jokic. I don't really want to say any particular name because then you go back to the fit. All right, you know what? Let's say names, right? Let's say there's a chance they can get Devin Booker instead of Jamal Murray. Well, if I'm a Nuggets fan, I convince myself that I'd rather have Jamal Murray. Look at the fit, look at the duo, look at the chemistry, which you can't really argue with that. But again, separating the context of it, and maybe that has worked so far. Maybe that's been the best play in the NBA so far, but maybe they need to switch it up. Maybe they're thinking that way. And I'm only saying that because the extension has not been signed. And I know just a year ago, people were talking about this team being a dynasty, but if they lose in the second round again next year, should they not look to improve the roster? Should they not maybe want a better number 2 option? Should they not maybe want an all-NBA player next to Jokic? I know Jamal Murray does a lot to help Jokic, but maybe they want someone more great independent of Jokic. Maybe they want someone they could run their offense through without Jokic. Maybe they want someone that sets up Jokic more. I know Jamal Murray does that, but the reality is he's not an all-star, he's not an all-NBA player, he's not a top 15 player in the NBA, and maybe I am so wrong. Maybe the extension is going to be signed the moment I drop this video. But the fact that it's not signed yet tells you a lot because it could have been signed months ago. And to me, this is very similar to the Steph Curry and Draymond Green situation where maybe you could have upgraded to get someone else besides Draymond that's a better player than Draymond, but maybe not a better fit with Steph Curry. But even on that side of the argument, I can't believe the Warriors are going into this year with Draymond as their second most important player. I think that's absurd. I really do. So even in that situation, if they were able to get someone that's better than Draymond, I feel like they should have done it. The tricky thing about that is Draymond Green was the best defender of a generation alongside AD, in my opinion. There was no replacing what Draymond Green does. My argument was always that maybe you don't need to replace what he does, maybe you need to pivot in a different direction. In the Nuggets situation, not only are there other people that do what Jamal Murray does, I brought up Devin Booker as a great example, and I'm not saying that's a likely scenario. I'm not saying you could just get Devin Booker whenever you want to get Devin Booker, but I'm saying maybe the Nuggets are holding on to their money and their cap space In the event that someone like Devin Booker becomes available or Donovan Mitchell becomes available, not only do I feel like those guys can do exactly what Jamal Murray does, they also provide you more flexibility to pivot in a different direction. Those guys don't need Nikola Jokic to get them involved as much as Jamal Murray does. And I don't want to talk down on Jamal Murray, but this is a real conversation because there is real smoke here. Otherwise, it would have been signed, or it would have been communicated that he's going to wait a year to sign. There's something going on here. That's all I'm saying. There's something going on here. So as much as the Draymond and Steph comparison is a fair one, Jamal Murray is not a generational defender. Jamal Murray is not irreplaceable, right? He's not that. He has amazing chemistry with Nikola Jokic, but he's not that. And I think we all have been kind of, we all have believed that he's that guy because he has been that guy in the playoffs. That's why it's a hard conversation to even have. And that's another way to look at it. Maybe they need someone that can help out Jokic more in the regular season. Maybe they need someone that can win games and lead a team without Nikola Jokic in the regular season. Now, I don't know what the Nuggets record was last year when Jokic didn't play and Murray played. I'm not sure how many games there actually were of that happening, but you guys get the overall point. This is not a negative Jamal Murray video. I mean, it is kind of negative, but the point is not to be down on Jamal Murray. We all know he's an amazing player. The whole point of this video is there's smoke. I believe there's fire. And let me say once again, this whole video is based off the idea of me thinking Jamal Murray would want to sign a deal right now. That could not be the case at all. That could be Jamal Murray wanting to wait it out and play a year. But also, maybe he wants to wait it out because the Nuggets aren't offering him the full max right now. But then that's even more complicated because one, I'm not sure who's giving Jamal Murray a max deal that's not the Nuggets next summer. And two, the Nuggets, are you going to wait on Jamal Murray on an expiring deal? You're just going to let that happen? Are you potentially going to let Bruce Brown, KCP, and Jamal Murray walk for nothing? Is that going to happen? Is Jamal Murray really about to play out this year on an expiring deal with his injury history by choice? Maybe he's so confident in himself, he feels like he's about to have this breakout year, but he's clearly been injured even this summer. He's clearly not himself right now. If there was $208 million in front of him, don't you believe he'd take it? Don't you believe it would be that simple? And before I go, now maybe there's a way they can get someone on the level of Jamal Murray or even better than Jamal Murray without giving up Jamal Murray, and that would have to be the salary of Michael Porter Jr. And there is one name that I feel like is a sneaky possibility if the Miami Heat look like they're done, right? They look like their run is over, the magical runs to the finals are over. What about Jimmy Butler? I could see that really happening. I could see a Michael Porter Jr. and probably have to put in Zeke Naji to make the money work. Now, they'd be extremely expensive, and the Nuggets seem like they're not about being expensive, so it's probably not too realistic. But on paper, I think that makes sense. If the Miami Heat feel like they're going nowhere fast, get Michael Porter Jr., maybe a first-round pick, maybe two, who knows? Who knows the machinations of that deal? But in the comments down below, let me know if you feel like I'm overreacting. Do you feel like Jamal Murray is going to be a Nuggets lifer? And if not, who do you feel like is the next best option to pair alongside Nikola Jokic? Who's your dream fit next to Nikola? You guys are just going to say Luka. You guys are just going to say Luka. Besides Luka and besides Steph Curry, who would you most like to see next to Nikola Jokic? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please drop a like, please comment, please subscribe. I'm out. Peace.